Saturday afternoon footy from the Telstra Dome. Simmons, the #1 ruckman for the Tigers, pitted against Biglands. And you can see the scrap has well and truly begun. No one able to get a couple of hands on the ball, though.
And Hutto, the sun's shining here at Telstra Dome, and the players to the right of screen have got the hands up to the face because they are looking directly into it.
And again, Biglands that time farming it down. Tigers able to hack it forward through Tuck. Playing in front, that's the main thing at the moment for the Richmond forwards. Tambling trying to scramble around the edge. Patterson, who's spent plenty of time in the VFL playing as a key forward. He's another one of their big men into the team this afternoon, of course, with Stafford going out. Simmons trying to do the ruck work. Goodwin lost it as soon as he got near it. Good tight work from Shirley. But the Tigers getting in the thick of it at the moment. Cracker hacking it forward. And a well-placed kick. And Tambling takes the mark.
Yeah, Tambling playing forward pocket. His opponent is John Cock, and he'll have a tough day, Tambling, because John Cock has been in very, very good form. There's Big Simmons, the ruckman for the Tigers. Trent Noble on the interchange bench for Richmond. So two big ruckmen to share the duties today for the Tigers.
We know they were smashed early last week, Richmond, so a start like this might just be what they need. What a goal! What a goal from Richard Tambling. Sensational stuff.
Well, it was a terrific start for him, and that'll lift his confidence. Now, he was dropped from the team earlier in the year, and you can just see he drops back. He just goes backwards now. He's a little bit fortunate, but he just dropped back behind John Cock to take that uncontested mark, but the kick was a beauty.
So Richard Tambling, great start for the Tigers. The Crows haven't had a kick yet. One forward by Biglands. Riley. And eventually kicked forward by Dowdy after he got it from Shirley towards half forward. Spectacular mark taken there by Kellaway, who was very brave as well, running back with the flight. Kick out wide, didn't quite hit the mark. Coughlin tries to get around Edwards. They've got the numbers here, the Tigers, so he gives it back to Kellaway. And the short kick, Simmons just is able to mark it above the turf between halfback and wing. So a big job for Troy Simmons. Short one's on to Cracker. Adelaide have got numbers back, so forcing him to go short. Only just though. Look to Newman. Simmons, Cracker, back to Newman. Little kick around the body is okay. Mark taken by Coughlin. Decides to wait. Perhaps could have gone. But again, the short kick. Polo. Oh, he's got a problem here. Matt to put some good pressure on, but Polo's equal to the task. Kicks it long inside, attacking 50. Numbers with the Crows. Spills to Richardson. A wild handball only as far as McLeod. And look at the numbers there for the Crows. Shirley, Burton, Goodwin, back to Burton. And now they're away. Rutten runs through midfield. Chips it out wide. Edwards, clever mark with the one hand. Now he's got Henschel short. He goes in that direction and Henschel marks.
Gee, Chrissa, how about the run and share in that defensive 50 by the Adelaide Crows? And I'm just looking back there, and there's about 6 of them congratulating each other. There's John Cock and there's McLeod and Goodwin and Rutten. Good play by Rutten when he finally was the one who received to get the kick. He didn't bomb it forward. He put it to advantage of Edwards, who in turn set this play up.
So Henschel kicked 3 last week, sitting on 49 career goals from 40 metres. Very stuttering approach. Drop punt is close to the post. So Adelaide's first score behind.
He's kicked 6 goals, 6 from set shots for the year, Trent Henschel. And the Tigers dodged a bullet early there.
Tigers had a huddle at a Hutto, and they've all broken to this side of the ground, so they've got the numbers.
Tuck, he's got Delidio along the line. Didn't take that option immediately, now he does.
It was a good play by Richmond, because they had a huddle of about 10 players and 8 of them broke to the one side, so there were plenty there to take advantage of the ball being kicked out wide.
Looking to switch. Now, when Patrick Bowden gets it, the question will be, has he got another option immediately? Only the short one to Rains. They might end up coming back this way. No, Rains committed and goes for Patterson, who worked well to present. He's got Simmons along the line. The Crows will zone off, but well done by Simmons.
Simmons might think he's got the agility to get out in a bit of space on the Crows, ruckman in Biglands and Clark. Clark starting on the interchange bench.
Tivendale is running with Goodwin, gets away from him to set up a ball in the Pettifer direction. Coming through with Jackson, he couldn't take it, and here go the Crows with this teaming run through the midfield. Burton for Bode, and he hasn't got anywhere to go. Back onto his favoured left side. Goodwin and John Cott coming up to support. Well done by the Richmond side there to force them back. Bassett. Now he has got Hart and Edwards. And his patient manoeuvre from the Crows. Out wide mark taken by Stevens.
Stevens playing at centre-half back for the Crows, playing on young Patterson of the Tigers. Now, you've got to say they did that well, Hutto.
Yeah, they did.
They have taken it via the Cape, but their skills are sure, and their intent was to set somebody up with a mark inside the forward 50. And with that final kick by Stevens, they achieved that.
And so Ken McGregor, as you can see, hasn't been taking too many contested marks of late. Only kicked 2 goals, 3 for the season.
Well, they started him in the back line, and of course Ian Perry got that knee injury a few weeks ago, so McGregor's been sent forward.
Decent kick required. It looked like he made great contact, and you can see the result. The Tigers, tall timber, able to work it through for it behind. So, good competitive start by the Tigers here at the Telstra Dome, a venue where they haven't enjoyed a lot of success lately.
Kick comes in to Callaway. Well done by Joel Bowden. So, again, the short kick. On the bounce, taken by Hyde. He's got a problem here. Good tackle from Riley. Tivendale caught. Hyde forced to go back to Callaway. They're under pressure. Poor handball by Callaway. He gets it back from eventually to Bowden. Now Hyde. Tivendale. So eventually they get out of trouble. But is it just for the moment? McLeod got a hand in there. Andrew McLeod, the champ, concedes ground. Hart chips it short. Out wide, Burton has been very busy early. Brett Burton takes them on and is pinged. Well done by Kane Pettifer. Good chase down from behind. And a free kick to the Tigers at half back.
Well, they're certainly putting the pressure on early, Richmond, and that's good to see.
Pettifer had a man on. Cracker on the wing. Now he's got Coughlin along the line. Much else. Deledio would have had to be in a contested situation. You can see into the arms of Edwards, and now they start to put the foot down and go. Centering ball from John Cott. Well placed for Henschel. He's got Burton inside 50. Rashudo's down there as well. He took a shorter option than all of them. Dancing around is Riley, whose kick lands in the lap of Patrick Bowden. It really wasn't that well thought out in the end by the Crows, and the Tigers are away.
Kick comes to the wing, and a good mark, taken low down, Coughlin. Not much play on football at the moment. Coughlin inside the centre square. Simmons, he decides to go back as well. He's got another short option on. Pettifer.
Well, Simmons is free because Biglands has got back in front of Richo, the Tiger full forward.
Needs to try and get used again, Simmons. He's drawing Biglands out, though. And as Pettifer chips it short, Patterson.
And again, they will try to get a mark inside the forward 50. Crows have got about 13, 14 players in their defensive part of the ground.
And that's exactly what the Crows wanted Patterson to do. Kick it long. Almost a spectacular mark. Well tackled by McLeod. And look at the Crows swarm around the footy again. Dowdy, John Cox, Edwards, and now Goodwin. They share it again. The kick from Goodwin wasn't great, though. Pettifer from 60 kicks it and delivered beautifully to touch.
Super kick, Kane Pettifer. And it was the bad Crows kick coming out of the defensive 50. They won it well, did Adelaide. A couple of quick handballs, and then it was a lousy kick by Goodwin. And Kane Pettifer, he sent one straight back over Goodwin's head and hit Tuck. And the Tigers a chance to get their second goal on the board.
Just shows the value of being able to use the ball effectively. So Shane Tuck from 35. Looks pretty good off the foot. It's close, but he squeezed it home. The Tigers have their second. So well played by Richmond. They've kicked the opening 2 goals of the match, and Rob, something they had to do to at least try and make this game competitive.
Well, they started really well. Look, they've had more forward 50 entries. They've got 2 goals on the board. Adelaide Crows yet to get a goal, and they're just falling down, Adelaide Crows, with getting the ball across that 50-metre line. And have a look at Trent Noble, former St Kilda ruckman, and would they love to have him now? Here's the big fella going up against Biglands. He's a good ruckman, Hutto.
Yeah, gets it down to the Lidio too. Although they can't get the clearance. And the Crows, so you just about need sunglasses to look at today with that bright uniform on. Just on the back foot, you can see the march. The Tigers certainly trying to share it around amongst each other and not rush it into the forward line. Coughlin can't escape the gang tackle. Good work in there from Shirley initially, then Thompson, but the turnover again. Cracker lost it, Delidio helped out, and they're inside 50. Simmons has pushed forward, and a good juggling grab under a bit of pressure. Now he's a big kick of the ball, Richo led under it. Tambling might let this bounce through. Oh, the Tigers have got the first 3 on the board, and they are officially up and about.
And that is a very good overhead mark. He juggled it. Have a look at Tambling here, the little Richmond forward. Now, we didn't quite see it, but don't worry. He put a bit of body work on early there on John Cock just to take him under the footy. Well done, Richard Tambling. You created that goal for your big teammate. And Stevens will have his hands full with Simmons, who can play equally as well up forward as he does in the ruck.
Neil Craig, some early concerns perhaps. Tigers by 16 points. Bounce favours Noble. Tivendale spirals it forward. Chance here for Richardson in front. Well done by the Adelaide defence. Bassett it was, who almost gets it over. In fact, it is now. Is it out on the full? No, boundary throwing deep in Richmond's forward pocket. But they're doing well out of the centre. And so far, their use of the football has been very good.
Tivendale doing a good job running with Goodwin as well.
Noble. Meyer kicks it quickly out of the pack. Chance here for Hyde to get their first no taken by Matner. And again, this run, this swarm of Adelaide players. McLeod couldn't control it. Matner, Stevens, now McLeod who kept going. Can he use it? Andrew McLeod. Kick towards half forward. In front, almost Riley. Skills beautifully. Shirley. Oh, he just brushed it aside. A Richmond player, Coughlin. Bode, McGregor. He was decked, but he got the kick away towards half forward. Rashuto. Stripped to the footy by Bowden. Not played. Riley tries to keep it in and does. Little paddle to Henschel. He tips it forward. McGregor's all by himself. Free kick over Riley.
Good effort there by Joel Bowden. We saw the strength of Rashuto trying to shrug him off, and Bowden just able to dispossess him of the football.
Matner around Jackson from 55. He loads up with a thumping kick.
It's coming back, Chris. It's coming back.
So take 3.
Andy Marr down there at ground level. Is there any team interchanging more than the other?
Not at this stage, but Tyson Edwards has come off Wolsey. He laid that heavy tackle on Coughlin early, has gone to the bench. Dr. Brian Sandoz had a look at him. He wrenched his neck quite badly in the tackle. He doesn't seem to be in too much trouble at the moment, but an early concern for the Crows.
So Riley, for the 3rd time, this time kicks it almost into the centre square. Stevens, oh, that's a 5-metre kick. Surely play on. Shirley got it. Kick towards the top of the goal square at the back. Clark, not quite. And Patrick Bowden just socks it through in desperation. I think more time than he thought.
I think Matthew Clark got a surprise that it sneaked through the hands of the players in front of him, hit him in the stomach and dribbled out.
So Bowden goes for a super long kick in for Richardson. But it's going to be an Adelaide free, is it, at centre-half forward? Surely it's a little strange, is it not, that it will be a free kick there?
Well, we can't pick that one up. That was well and truly off the ball.
And it's Clark to take it. Got some options short that he goes as long as he can. Henschel was the target, but Callaway back in the team this week after being a late withdrawal last week, as brave as ever. Richo peels off. He's got some options through the middle. Just gets Pettifer. And Coughlin to his left, but goes for Simmons, who could be a bit of a handful down there for Stevens. Would you pay the mark? Well, the umpire did.
Too big for him.
Yep. Off to Delidio. Might have to backpedal. Simmons, Bowden middle, yeah, the crowd roared to give him the warning, but he didn't hear it.
Free kick.
Advantage will taken by Burton. He's got McGregor inside 50 beyond. That's fierce, fantastic tackling. And Joel Bowden made amends for his brother. Went in and won it, and now gives Patrick a second chance along the wing. Delidio pops it over the top looking for Coghlan. Delidio goes back in after it again. Bassett. Edwards will run past Burton here to receive. So he's okay. Up and getting it long, and McGregor still loose. Bowden, did he interfere? He did.
That's the one worry for Joel Bowden against the bigger opponents. He can beat them at ground level, but in the air, he realises that they've got the advantage, and sometimes he just gives away free kicks in a bit of desperation. But Joel Bowden, 2 fantastic tackles in the first 15 minutes of this game. Crows yet to get a goal.
3 behinds on the board, and the Tigers 3 straight goals. McGregor gives himself a little bit of a better angle. The goal umpire, yeah, he hadn't moved, but another poster. And 4 behinds for the sluggish Crows, although they've had some fine passages of play, Rob.
Yeah, but they still haven't got a goal, and we're into the 17th minute of this game. What's happening now? There's a free kick again going to Matthew Clark. There must be holding going on there.
Well, Clark got Mattner free, and he marched 45 from goal.
Now, that's the second play, isn't it, with the Richmond kick in, and they found a free kick.
Against Simmons, it would appear. But, gee, 2 costly mistakes there by the Tigers.
Shouldn't the free kick go to the goal scorer?
Well, it's a good point, too.
That's where the ball is.
Yep. So Mattner now is a thumping kick. Will kick from 50. Will have no trouble with the distance. Can he kick it straight? It's close. It's home. First goal to the Crows. So it didn't cost Richmond the first time, but it certainly cost them there. The free kick given to Clark, and he was able to feed it off to Mattner, who kicked a wonderful long goal.
And Terry Wallace, the Richmond coach, he's persevering with his 2 ruckmen staying on the ground. I like that. And at the moment, we'll have Simmons do the centre bounce and Trent Noble up in the goal square alongside Richo.
Crows finally with a goal through Martin Mattner. 8 points the margin again. Simmons back in the centre circle, opposed to Clark. Foley, who's pretty good at doing that, extracting it out of the middle. Hart, McLeod, Edwards, all good names, but the target was missed. Delidio had to put the body on the line. He certainly didn't fail in that duty. Tuck never does, but his handball astray. Mattner also misses his handball target. Coghlan found the going very difficult there. Inevitably a ball up.
Well, it's really obvious down here how Richmond are matching, if not actually exceeding Adelaide in the contest around the footy at the moment.
They've been really strong and close, haven't they? Put a bit of pressure on and got their tail up at the moment, the Tigers.
Chance for them to win only their second opening quarter of the season.
Yeah.
Richo was late there.
Yeah, the experienced Ben Hart getting in front of Richo. He knows where to position himself. After 305 games, 306 today, you'd know where to go, wouldn't you?
Edwards for Thompson.
Tigers doing a good job just of shutting down one-on-one, you can see.
Adelaide Crows haven't got one player in their own forward 50 at the moment. Rashudo out at centre-half forward.
Forced to retreat, and now it's Rutten screaming after the pass from Hart. Searching for Rashudo, but he had not had a sniff yet. Callaway getting back with range, who's got the job on him. That was not a good handball. Running the gauntlet, he was prepared to put his body back on the line as the Tigers have been. Well done, Coghlan, some good heavy work. Still the Crows are swarming around. Dowdy left it behind. Van Berlo's in there as well. And the Tigers will be happy with scraps like this, I reckon.
Well, they've done well so far in close to stoppages, Richmond. Hasn't been a strength of theirs this year. The Adelaide Crows are ranked number 3. Have a look at the disposals. Simmons, the ruckman, with 8. terrific. Callaway at half-back playing well.
Thompson scraps it towards the top of the goal square, coming out Henshaw, but well done, Joel Bowden. Get the arms free. Now he's got a long handball option, uses it. Polo, outstanding debut a couple of weeks ago, a little quieter last week. Couple of bounces, long towards half forward. Richardson in good position. Rutten claimed it, played on quickly. Hart, they've got the numbers there again. Bassett, back to Thompson. Around Richardson and just delivers out wide with a lot of poise. And the mark's taken out there by Rutten. So they're getting numbers back to Crows just to stop these Richmond attacks. Long towards Hart. Didn't quite judge it. I wonder whether the sun might have been a problem there. Van Berlo, little give okay. Thompson, clever. Drills it inside. The mark taken by McGregor. Off towards Edwards. Edwards runs, breaks through one tackle. Runs to 50. Long, penetrating kick. Here's a goal. Second on the board of the Crows. They kicked the last two. So after a good start, Adelaide pegging back the Richmond lead.
Yes, and the veteran there, he gets a sharp handball from McGregor, shrugs off the tackler, and then he's got the composure to have a bounce and straighten up. And you would have seen in picture there, he got some fantastic protection. Now, this is what I really like, getting set and organised before the bounce. The four centre square players communicating with each other. Well done.
So the Crows now just 2 points behind. And Clark trying to get them going, generate something out of the middle. And he does it successfully as it turns out, although Coughlin in there to intercept, and Foley, good running from behind. Callaway sets up the big man. Richo was charging, couldn't get on the end of it. Ground level footy to be won. Bassett, the bigger Crows bodies there, being held up by some tough work, and young Danny Meyer in there.
Well, in the last month or so of football, in the first quarter, no team has got more than 2 goals against the Crows. So you'd have to say the Tigers have done pretty well. If they can go in quarter time with a lead, that will be terrific for their confidence.
No one really wanted it out of the ruck. Well done by Tuck. Matner put the head down on the bottom up. Coughlin. Now's an Adelaide free kick out of that. And it's going to Matner, who took them all on, tried to wade through. And must have got some high contact. Thompson. Fine pick-up from Melbourne. He wanted to go home. Doughty.
Ben Hart looks to be in real trouble here, boys. Left forearm or wrist coming off. Seems to be in a great deal of pain.
Yeah, that does not look good. The Crows continue to move it through McGregor. Rashudo. This time gets away from Rains. Now Goodwin's pushed into the 50. And John Cock likewise has run forward. He might centre it. Hope for Henschel. It wasn't a well-placed kick. Simmons over the top. Took a big mark like it was a full forward going for a specky. Unfortunately, he's at the other end of the ground.
He's having a terrific first quarter, the big fella. That is his 9th disposal.
Hard to get off. Shot and kick straight into McGregor. Gives the Crows a big chance here. Henschel. Rashudo, look out. Well done by Tuck. Patrick Bowden. Cool. Well played. The kick out wide. Will it get to Hyde? Yes. Pursued by Thompson. He's got support though. Cracker. Now, Tambling is free. The kick from Cracker's perfect. Richard Tambling can run here. Can he find a target? Kick towards Richardson. Over his head. Couldn't take the mark. Clark doubling back. Good handball. Doughty. Doughty's got plenty of options here, and he kicks short. Bassett takes the mark with the one hand.
Hard a big loss for them, Rob.
He will be, because he's the one who controls the back line. He gives the directions, the most experienced by a long, long way. The other end of the ground, Hart, I'm watching Rashudo pretty closely. He looks a bit out of sorts as well. And interesting, Andrew Rains, young Andrew Rains, given the job on Rashudo, doing it well at this stage.
And he's kicked 20 goals in 5 games, Rashudo, so he certainly hasn't been out of sorts coming into the game. So good work from Rains so far. The Crows through Bassett. Wobble it in there. Let's see if Rashudo can beat 2. Bode's also down there. The Tigers need to get themselves sorted out. There's yellow and black jumpers everywhere, and they do. Newman flirting with danger somewhat and finding Joel Bowden, who can go to Hyde.
Yeah, they do like to switch it in their defensive 50, the Tigers, and they've done it well again.
Hyde's been averaging 18 possessions a game. He's certainly getting better each year. Callaway. Couple on the wing, flat-footed was Tack, and it was beautifully read and picked off by Riley. Well done, the Crows by hand. Thompson involved with Matt Edwards, and Thompson again! Handcuffed by Hyde.
Good tackling, Tigers.
And the Tigers lead by 2 with under 2 minutes remaining in the opening quarter.
Patrick Bowden just kicks across the ground. Simmons, he's taken 6 marks, coming in for his 11th disposal, Simmons. Callaway's also been prominent, coming in for his 10th disposal. And Tamley's got it on centre wing.
Well, the Tigers are in front, and their leading goal kicker, Matthew Richardson, yet to have a kick.
Patrick Bowden gets it from Rains, so they effect another switch. And they find the loose player. He jars free. It's Chris Hyde. Has one bounce. Good chase from Hitchell. Great shepherd from Newman. Hyde confronted, handballs back. With a poor handball to Richardson. He had to try and take it off his bootlaces. Scrambles it forward only as far as Stevens. And he hands off to Edwards. And Edwards finds Riley on centre wing. So the Crows a chance again to go forward.
So Riley, Goodwin, and there's another one on over the top. Mark taken, Massey in unfamiliar territory, breaking, going for McGregor, and they still might end up the quarter in front. Massey's going to have another crack at it here. That's a little disappointing for Richmond.
Well,
even psychologically.
Well, it's disappointing. Mark Coughlin fell to ground, allowed Massey to play on, and then got up very slowly, and Massey was able to run down and accept this pass. So 2 pieces of perhaps play that Mark Coughlin wouldn't be happy with.
Massey hasn't scored this year.
Former Carlton player.
Yep. 4 seasons at Carlton, 5 with the Crows. Heading up towards the 100-game mark, playing game number 93. 25 years of age. Chris Massey misses everything. So Richmond win the quarter. And a big psychological boost for the Tigers, Rob.
That is, Hutto, and look, there's quite a few Richmond fans here. They'd be pretty happy with that. I think a lot have come out in recognition of Joel Boughton's 200th game. Joel's playing well across that half-back line. Andrew Rains is doing a really good job at fullback on Mark Rasciuto, and Tamling and Cracker looking dangerous up forward. Well done to Richmond on winning the first of the 4 quarters.
Today, Fox Footy's taking you live and exclusive to the MCG for the 2 o'clock kickoff between the Blues and Saints. This is shaping as a must-win game for both clubs, so expect nothing to be left on the paddock. Press red to take digital control of this intriguing contest from the comfort of home. Your Sunday on Fox Footy looks like this. Blues Saints live and exclusive from 2 o'clock. Then the winners weekend wrap, Bombers Eagles and Power Lions.
With ingenious driver assist technology, an advanced active all-wheel drive system that anticipates when to engage, and 20% more interior space, the all-new RAV4 is bursting with uncompact thinking.
15 cents for 10 days. We print photos from your digital camera at Harvey Norman. And right now, we're offering this unbeatable deal.
15-cent prints for 10 days.
Just bring in your media card, USB drive or CD. It's that easy. Harvey Norman prints your digital photos for just
15 cents for 10 days.
Hurry.
Do you have protection? I don't like guns.
For the first time on Australian television, prepare to be touched where you've never been touched before.
You're a virgin.
Andy's secret's out.
I'm sorry.
Now his friends are on a mission to help him score.
Just ask questions.
Can I help you?
I don't know. Can you?
We have a section of do it yourself.
Do you like to do it yourself?
They're going to make sure their friend comes first.
You know, this is really gracious and kind, but I just don't want a big box of porn.
On Foxtel Box Office.
See that whole Teen Wolf thing? You could just wax that right out.
No! Kelly Clarkson! This is not a good look for me!
The longer you wait, the harder it gets.
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
Is that a serious question?
The 40-year-old version
Hope you have a big trunk, because I'm putting my bike in it.
Starts Thursday, June 1, only on Foxtel Box Office.
Join us on Tuesday. Two great rovers. One captain Melbourne at 22 years of age. That has to be Greg Hill. The other one played for Collingwood but should have played for the Bulldogs.
Oh, Ronnie Wheeler.
Then join Ron Barassi for some great 1986 moments from the Fox Footy Vault. All part of your legendary Tuesday night lineup right here on Fox Footy.
Cracker, lost it. Delidio helped out, and they're inside 50. Simmons has pushed forward, and a good juggling grab under a bit of pressure. There's a big kick of the ball. Rizzo led under it. Tambling might let this bounce through. Oh, the Tigers have got the first three on the board, and they are officially up and about. The Crows did come back with the next two, but Richmond won the quarter, something they haven't been able to do any more than one other occasion so far this year. And considering where they were at this time last week against the Swans, they'd be well pleased to be 3 straight 18. The Adelaide Crows 2-4-16. Well, Robert Walsh, one thing we did see from the Crows that certainly impressed us was the way they swarmed out of defence.
Well, look at the numbers. They have got half a dozen options there, and some of those handballs are no more than a metre, and eventually they try to free somebody up who's got a bit of time and space to use the ball well by foot. They are a hard-running, fit team, and we see Rutten there, and he uses it really well out to Edwards' advantage. And, yeah, they like teams to bomb it into their defence. Well, that's what Richmond didn't do. I thought Richmond kept control of the ball pretty well.
Down to Andrew Marfin News on Ben Hart.
Yeah, they're assessing it at the moment. Hutto, he's downstairs. There's a fair chance that he will be taken to hospital for x-rays on what they suspect might be a fractured left wrist. There's the incident we see. Nothing terribly significant about it, but he was favouring it straight away. You could see he reached straight for it. They took him up the rooms, and he's not down here at the moment. So real concern for that left wrist for the Adelaide veteran. As I said, they do suspect there may be a fracture. Richmond's had some problems of its own, some communications problems with the bench. They haven't had communications for the whole quarter through the headsets. That seems to have been rectified at quarter time. Everything in readiness for the second turn for them.
It's working all right without the communication. They lead by 2. Looked like Ben Hart had already done it by the time he flew for that ball.
It did, Hutto. You're right, because I remember when he went for that mark, I thought he hasn't gone for that with 100% conviction. There must have been something wrong with him, and we found out there is. Now, this is the, well, we just see Rashudo there, Andrew Raines playing. This is the man who's playing so very well. Troy Simmons has had 11 disposals, 7 marks.
Second quarter underway. The Tigers by a couple of points. Newman. Quick kick out of the centre is okay. Marked by Delidio. So the Tigers, can they get another one early in this second term? Kick out wide. That man Simmons on the sun, I think, just got in his way there for the moment. The chance at ground level. They try and shovel it out. Well done. Back to Simmons. He's on attacking 50. He just slipped the tackle. Lines up from 40. And Bassett marks right on the line. In fact, he touches it through. So behind an early one to the Tigers. They lead by 3 points. And Troy Simmons involved again. John Cock. Dumping kick out wide. Massey's got it in space at half back. Got Goodwin running for him. And the kick is okay, and Goodwin marks on centre wing. Chips it further afield. Burton. Good pressure from Kellaway, but Burton's able to take the mark. Now McGregor's deep. He decides to kick in McGregor's direction. Henschel in from the side. Fist at ground level. Chance for Rashudo. Slips the handball. Shirley. Dowdy. Burton, who fired up, but the Dowdy handball was poor. Burton still got plenty of time. Left foot kick to the top of the goal square and coming in high. And what's going to happen? A free kick to the Richmond side. And for a push, it'll go to Chris Hyde.
No, I don't think it will go to Chris Hyde. It's going to Patrick Bowden. He finally got it sorted out. Over to his brother. And now Hyde's got away. Richo pushing for him on the wing. But he's manned up by Rutten, so he's forced to try and improvise. Went for an ambitious kick for Polo, and there was Crows all around. Thompson out of defence. Stevens uses Doughty. Everyone in a clump at centre-half forward. Plenty of Tigers there. Burton had to contend with about 3 or 4. Patrick Bowden was quite clever there initially. Now he has to get rid of it, and there was some interference. Free kick paid, and this time no advantage.
Well, the big bomb into the Adelaide Crows forward line is something that their coach wouldn't be all that happy about.
Bowden kicks it short. Kellaway. Handball. Oh, put Reigns under a bit of pressure, but he was good enough to get out of trouble. Penetrating kick out wide. Edwards. Out position Hardigan. At the fall, it's all Adelaide. Goodwin. Forced to go back. Edwards.
She's got a nice sidestep, Edwards.
Did it brilliantly. On to Bigland. So his handball was poor. Went behind. Massey allows Beledio in. Now loses Richo from 45 off a step. Kicks a goal. No, he hits the post.
Only that can happen to Richo.
She had just swung late. Cannon straight into the post. So too early behind for the Tigers. And another Adelaide free kick. What's going to happen here? The ball's coming
to 50, really, I think.
And it'll be taken by John Cock at centre half back.
Out to the wing. Doughty. McLeod gliding off the wing. Burton. Holloway really learning a lesson. He's doing pretty well so far. As Burton on the bounce, was it? It was on the bounce for Thompson. And he's turned it over. And now it's the Tigers' turn to stream off half-back. And that's a terrific grab. The Foley kick from Jackson. Beautifully judged. The kick not so well judged. Tuck not able to handle the hot potato. Edwards, Stevens. Crows making their fair share of mistakes at the moment.
Absolutely. Their handball skills and kicking skills are way off at the moment.
Shirley, McLeod. You've got to give some credit to the Tigers. This is a better build-up. No one coming at him, such as the way of modern footy. And John Cock kicks the goal and puts the Crows in front.
Well, you're right, Hutto. You called it perfectly. Nobody would come at Graham Johncock, and you'll see he receives the handball from McLeod. Now, he's inside the centre square. Couple of bounces, and Richmond defenders are dropping back. They're running back to get on their opponents. No one was prepared to come at Johncock. He said, thanks very much, carried the ball 30 metres and kicked an easy goal.
So Adelaide have kicked the last 3 goals of the match to respond to Richmond's opening burst. And the Crows, for the first time this afternoon, find themselves in front. They lead by 2 points. Simmons gets it down to Tuck, who bursts from the centre circle. Drives it towards full forward. Cracker and John Cock, ball to the back. What can Cracker conjure up here? Hard up against the line. Little slip, and then proceeds to kick it into McLeod. So McLeod now. Casual couple of bounces around the boundary line at half-back, chips it short. Mark taken by Shirley.
Some of their names starting to look a bit more dangerous now. This bloke's been good since the start of the game, Edwards. His 12th possession after running from half-back. Has the footy landing at full forward, but McGregor out-muscled and outnumbered.
Courageous Kellaway, and you'll see that all game. Andrew Kellaway running back with the flight of the ball. He's a beauty. He's one of those players who die for his teammates.
Foley and Bowden collaborate. It ends with Hyde on the wing. And he was able to ride the initial tackle. Forced to go backwards and sideways for Simmons.
Possession number 14 to the giant ruckman. He is having a blinder.
Now, what next? They wax amongst themselves. Bowden committed, but he too's a pretty slippery customer. Hard to stop. Venturing past the wing, but not sure he had in mind. Was hoping, I think, for Cracker, but John Cock led him to the ball. Goodwin starting to find it a little bit more consistently in this quarter. Bassett marshalling the troops back there in the absence of Hart. And he gets Stevens.
Stevens has been handy at centre half back. Hasn't played there much in his career, but doing the job with McGregor going forward.
Thompson. It's been an outstanding form for the Crows. Oh, Kellaway again with courage. Almost tapped it over the back to Patrick Bowden. His handball. Eventually on the bounce got to Coughlin. He waits, draws a play over the top. Meyer now. Chance at half forward. Casual bounce. Needs to get rid of it quickly. He's decked after he got rid of it. And is it down the field? I think it might be. Yep. So, well, you could almost say clever play by Danny Meyer there to just delay the kick. And the relay free kick will be taken by Andrew Cracker. Let's have another look at it. Rob?
Well, deemed to be a bit overly aggressive and a fraction late, I would say.
Thompson coming from the ground, incidentally.
Yeah, Thompson coming off. He can do that sort of a thing. Look, you can't fault his endeavour because he wants to impress with the Crows after starting his career with Melbourne, but he just has to temper it a little bit.
So Cracker comes in and misses from 25 metres. Richmond can't afford to miss those sort of opportunities, and they draw to within a point of the Crows.
Yeah, a couple of misses there from Richardson and Cracker would have been handy for the Tigers.
Yeah, and I think Terry Wallace has to start to think about putting some outriders into the space because Crows taking it away with ease at the kick-ins. And that Richmond player on the mark, Mark Coughlin, gee, he's half the player that he was. He just doesn't have the go about him that he had a couple of years back when he made a name for himself as a real goer.
I think a best and fairest winner, and but he had the injuries. We spoke to Terry Wallace before the game today and just checked that his physical condition was okay, and it is. And so let's hope that Coughlin can get back to his best as the season progresses. Meantime, it's Adelaide leading by 1, and pretty busy intersection at the moment. The 50 line for the Crows.
I reckon that's the rule of the week for the umpires. Make sure that the man with the ball gets back in his right position
and
before he plays on.
6 inches offline.
You're not saying there's a rule of the week, are you, Rob?
Of course there is.
Yeah.
Well, what's the Geese going to do? The Geese has got to come up with some coaching tips for his umpires, just like a football coach does,
They say they don't do that, though. They don't focus on one rule. That's not what they do.
What they say and what they do are two different things.
1 point the difference, and it's the Crows in front.
He just about got strangled.
He didn't get a free kick. Coughlin's handball intercepted by Riley. He loops the handball towards McLeod, who just accelerates away from Meyer. Electrifying stuff from Andrew McLeod. Then he was tripped. Advantage call. Chance for Mattner. No, it's coming back. It's coming back. And Pettifer and Mattner get involved in half court, but it will come back to Andrew McLeod, who was tripped. Let's have a look at it again.
Shoot, just clipped his heels.
So McLeod forced to go backwards. Massey. He affects the switch. He kicks it out to Stevens on centre wing. He kicks towards the lead of Henschel, who got rid of Bowden. Clever play.
What the Adelaide Crows are doing, Chriso, they are getting their forwards to bunch, if you like, a huddle. They have a group of them, 5 or 6, in a tight area, and they block for each other to go out into space. So they do it really well. It's smart football, strategy in football, and I'm sure it's something that they practice a lot.
6 goals, 6 from set shots, Trent Henschel, so hasn't been the most reliable kick for goal, but this will need to be a beauty from pretty much right on 50. Long to the top of the goal square, and Biglands was, in fact, the one up might have touched it over the line, so margin out to 2 points now in favour of the Crows.
And the Crows have got outriders for the Richmond kick. So the Richmond players are pretty much grouped right down the middle, that middle corridor as we see it. And that's the safety valve release to Callaway, the short in the back pocket. Crows will be pretty happy with this situation because they've held them up.
Eventually Cracker's got 2 to beat, and the ball wobbled a little in the air. Would have been a couple of nervous moments, so having to trust their skills here. Delidio back to Cracker, going by hand now. Rains puts the foot down, gives it everything he can. Big fly at the back, but Hardigan, maybe there's interference even further in front of him. Going against Patterson, taken by Stevens, and now McLeod as they wind up. They're heading to attack again through Goodwin.
At half-back, Simon Goodwin just chips to Massey, who's been pretty good today, Chris Massey.
And Rutten has run from full-back to mark at half-forward. Richo a fraction late.
He overcommitted too, so Rutten kicks towards McGregor. Good push from Patrick Bowden. McGregor bites on, but good tackling there. And allows Patrick Bowden to come away. Thibodeau under the pump, and they had no opportunity there. And the umpire decides to bounce, and rightfully so.
Well, Troy Simmons off for the Tigers, and he's just about worn himself out. Had 14 disposals, and that's more than anyone else on the ground. Trent Noble could do the ruck work.
Beaten by Biglands. Riley. Good handball, Mattner, forced to go back to Edwards. The run, though, of McLeod is there to offer assistance to Tyson Edwards. Long into the pocket, Henschel again. Carried under the ball by Bowden. Richardson and McGregor fighting on. Ball close to the line. Richardson, well done. Patrick Bowden slipped the handball through the pack to Newman. Hardigan. Now Joel Bowden from half-back. Just wobbled it. He didn't have much on. Kicked it straight onto the chest of Tyson Edwards.
Bit of a scrap at the moment. Bit of an arm wrestle. The Crows trying to get into full flight. Bassett, he gives it plenty. A couple of big flyers. Thompson giving away the free. Big ones down there as well. There hasn't been a lot of method in their madness up forward today for the Crows, Rob.
No, a lot of big bombs in, and again, it's something that they wouldn't like to do, but the Tigers have just put a bit of pressure on them, and they haven't been able to free up as they would like, the Adelaide Crows. Look, Richmond are to be commended for what they've done, trailing by only 2 points, and more than halfway through this second quarter. I reckon one of the things that the Tigers are doing also is they're trying to keep as much possession as they can. They just want to deny Adelaide the ball. So you don't see Richmond bombing it away. And this sort of play, whilst it's a little bit frustrating, it's probably more frustrating for the Adelaide Crows players because they can't get a hand on the leather.
Well, it's the stuff that they've dealt out too successfully to other teams. Bowden. This is where it gets a little tricky. That was touched off the boot, I think. That's why they was committed to playing on. Well done from Patterson. Farming it out. They've worked it through. Newman just about within range. Sivendale. Not far enough was the call.
Richmond supporter.
One umpire's paid it, I think.
It's going to have to be a ball up, surely.
The Richmond supporters will go mad, but the umpire...
No, they're paying the mark,
No, I don't think they are.
No, they're going to pay a ball up.
Umpire Chris Miller, number 1, not the man in picture. He said it was touched, and that is good umpiring to follow through with the decision.
They might get a chance for a goal anyway. Coughlin got the handball clear. Newman, who just about started it all, finishes it off, and they're back in front. So the Tiger fans are happy after all.
Yes, and a series of handballs there to set Newman up, and you might say, well, bit of justice served there because it looked like it was a Richmond mark. Must have been a very, very faint edge that the umpire heard or saw out there.
The Tigers have their first goal since the 11-minute mark of the first quarter. We're 14 minutes in second term, so long time between goals, but they find themselves back in front. Noble wins it out. Edwards first to retrieve the ball. Van Berlo, Massey. Shirley bumped off it. Well done by Newman. Oh, gee, something like that. It could be a fair bump. And the umpire Anthony just going through the motions and how to do a bump rock.
Mark Rasciuto in picture. Just 2 disposals for the game. Andrew Rains has done a super job on the Crow staff.
Kick comes to Thompson.
Was he saying the bump was in the back, Richard?
Well, I think that's what he was saying. Low kick towards Hitchell. He's got it. Great chest mark. Great kick coming from Thompson. Because Joel Bowden was right there on Hitchell's back. And the kick was perfect. And Hitchell was able to just grasp the ball. And the chance here for the Crows for a quick reply.
I like the way Henschel moves. He reads it well. He presents well. He just hasn't got a strong leg.
Well, his kicking hasn't been great, Rob. 6-7 so far this season from said shots.
You have a look at the legs, and they're a bit on the skinny side, and you'd just like to see him bulk up a little bit there. He doesn't get much more than about 48 metres with his best kick.
He took his time, didn't he?
Yes. Stuttering run back. He's missed again. So you just see, even in his approach to kick the ball, he's a little bit nervous and not composed. So another missed opportunity there for the Crows.
8 marks inside their forward 50, the Crows, so they'd be pretty happy with that. Richmond, on the other hand, have just had the 3.
There's that bunch of Tigers all breaking as one, but Callaway not confident to hit one of them. Instead went as short as he could to Bowden.
And I reckon the Tigers would be happy to go in at half-time, just a couple of points up in a very, very low-scoring first half. And again, it's a case of don't let the Crows get hold of the footy.
Newman. Bowden.
And didn't we see this with Adelaide Crows early in the year, Hutto, when
against
they played Collingwood?
Yep.
What goes around comes around.
Tivendale.
Something like that.
Something like that. Newman. Back to Bowden. They're all increasing their stats anyway. Simmons is going to get down to try and provide an option. Now the Crows, Bowden needs to release this pretty quickly because the Crows might suddenly be putting a lock on them, but he gets it clear. Well done. Good penetration in the kick.
I reckon I know what Neil Craig will be saying at half-time to his boys, and that is just pummel the Richmond players every chance you get them tired, get them hurting, because if we can do that, their skills will fall away. At the moment, the Tigers' skills are pretty good. They're hitting their targets.
Is that what you tell them, Rob?
Absolutely.
Pummel them?
Pummel them. Well, this is fantastic. You imagine if this was getting played at Amy Stadium, the Crow supporters would be off their head.
Hope you've got Joel Bowden in your dream team. He's getting plenty of it at the moment. 17 possessions.
He'll get it again in a minute.
Yeah, well, what they've got to do, the Crows, is go one-on-one. They've done this to other teams. They've got to be strictly one-on-one, and they're not. And there we see Henschel letting the team down. Now McGregor has not on Bowden.
They've had it for 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes.
It's fantastic.
Finds Rains.
It is just solely to keep the ball out of the hands of the opposition, to go in at half-time in front and frustrate the hell out of the top of the ladder team.
Callaway, if he can hit Simmons, he's a chance. Oh, he missed. After all that, the world's biggest build-up. He missed. And now the Crows. What will their response be here? Will they go and race it down and try and kick a goal in 15 seconds? Thompson. No, went for Henschel. Good fist. Gets a second crack. Just blazes this time. McGregor and the Birdmen are down there. That's a free kick. Over the shoulder.
18 marks in a row the Tigers had before Andy Callaway turned it over.
And they got so far with it. That's a big kick from Meyer. Tambling has to fly over the top. So this time, a different tactic, and it didn't work. Van Berlo's kick, not a great one either, though. Well done from Pettifer to Tambling. Now, Pettifer running for him here. This might be a bit more of a fluid passage of play. Oh, he committed himself. I bet he wished he didn't. Tuck, hacking it forward. Well done. Deft hand from Patterson. Tigers on the rise. Advancing through half forward. Tivendale on his wrong side, but he gets his man. And Cracker to have a shot for goal.
I think one thing there, he said he wished he didn't, but at least when you play on, things do open up for you. Yeah. And although he played on, he was under pressure. They had players to support, and they were able to take it. And Cracker having a shot at goal.
And he missed one from there. He kicked to the left of the goals only about 7 or 8 minutes ago. And Neil Craig would be pretty frustrated. Now, he invented this keepings off game. Now he's got to solve it.
Cracker. Nails it. And we have got a game on our hands.
And it's a little bit, I reckon, of the strength of the Western Bulldogs this year, Rob, their ability to take the opposition on, play on at all costs, and that's what Pettifer did there, and in the end, it's resulted in a goal.
Yep. Well done, Tigers. And Mark Risciuto yet to get a goal, only had the 2 touches, and Terry Wallace, he will just instill so much confidence in his players with his coaching, because he's come up with a plan that has just frustrated the Adelaide Crows and may well put his team in front at half-time.
Well, Richmond have been forced back to half-back, but they've still got possession. Tivendale, oh, gee, wild kick out of mid-air from Matt, allows Meyer in. Cracker has been good. Tuck needs to get rid of it, scrambles it towards half-court. Hardigan needs to be clean here with his hands. He isn't. He gives it up. No, get a free kick. So, okay. 65 from goal. Loose player. Pettifer can run here. Kick a goal from 45. Who kicks? And squeezes it through. So the Tigers out to a 15-point advantage. And Neil Craig looks on. I thought for most of that kick that it was going to miss, but it scrambled through. Good play from Richmond.
Good play by Pettifer to play on too, because he wouldn't have been able to make the distance had he gone back and had a set shot.
Confidence starting to flow through the veins of this Richmond team. Neil Craig's Crows on the back foot, at least just for the moment. They trail by 15. Bode trying to generate something out of the middle. Van Berlo's left. Cut off, and Pettifer, inspired football at the moment. For Bowden, they're running.
Neil Craig's put extra men in his defence. He is concerned.
So Richmond just would be, I reckon, happy to play that possession footy again for the next couple of minutes, Rob.
Absolutely.
If they can go into half-time leading by 15, it'd be sensational.
It'd be a terrific effort by them. And you've got to put it down. It's wholly and solely because of the coaching by Terry Wallace.
And the implementation by the team.
Oh, well, his team have carried it through, but he came up with the idea. I don't give the coach some credit.
How do you know? Might have been one of the players that came up with it. John Cobb running off half-back. This is the Crows who we're more familiar with. McLeod looking for McGregor, like a wily defender.
Smart play, Joel Bowden. Just a little bit of a nudge in the back, let it come over the top. And again, they will just try to wind the clock down. As you can see, just under 2 minutes of play. 50-metre penalty.
Going over the mark there, Kenny McGregor.
Gee, if they can get another goal, Chris, I'd go in 21 points up.
Fair 50. That's 70.
There's a Richmond player that's just come off the interchange bench, and he will receive it.
Yep, that was high. And now Jackson. Richo hasn't seen a lot of light down there today.
Richo says, what's the point in leading? Because he does little chip passes.
He's not a big fan of this sort of footy.
Now they've kicked it over his head.
Yeah. Oh, he's dropped it, Burton. He's taken some fantastic marks over the years. Dropped that one. Didn't matter in the end. Bassett's clearing kick. Henschel. Good strong body work. The Tigers, they stood up. Was a poor handball. Tough for Coughlin. Edwards. Stevens. A minute 15 for the Crows.
Gee, Mattner on a fast break.
To half forward. Well done from Patterson. But now he's got to follow it up. Dowdy. With Thompson running beside him. Plenty of Tigers in front of him. McGregor. And they're going to have to be patient. Henschel. Mattner. Newman. Holding the ball. And the Tiger fans are on their feet. Well, some of them are. And even those that are sitting down are pretty happy.
Newman.
Joel Bowden,
possession number 20, Michael.
Quite remarkable. Couple of bounces and a third. Draws the player. Handball a bit shabby, but it's okay. Simmons in space. Got plenty of time. His kick is caught. Cut off by Bode. So, still time for the Crows.
Switches on if they can do it.
Bassett, Massey. Links with Goodwin. Pops it over the top. McLeod running is Edwards. Kick towards half forward. Biglands. 10 seconds left. Time for a mark and goal. Kicks into the pocket. And a mark taken there by John Cock. Siren will go.
And he was protected very well there by Scott Thompson. Thompson just behind John Cock. And we've seen John Cock, who's playing back pocket, already kick a goal in this second quarter. And Scott Thompson just smart, protective play to enable John Cock to take the mark and not get smashed, because he was running back with a flight of the footy. He didn't know what was coming.
How long since they've kicked a goal, Chriso?
22 minutes, Hutto. He leads the Crows in rebound 50s, and now he has the chance to kick his second of the afternoon. Tough angle though, as you can see. Hard up against the line. It's a wonderful kicking, but it's across the face. No score. So, at half-time, Rob, the Tigers lead it by 15 points.
Well, they do, and they'll get a big ovation from their fans, and deservedly so, because they've stuck to the team plan that Terry Wallace implemented. I reckon he's copied a little bit off the Crows. It's the way that they've played, but they've kept possession, they've denied Adelaide the ball, and they've been able to kick goals themselves when they've gone forward. Well done, Richmond.
Can they go on with it? We'll find out soon.
When the final siren sounds, Fox Footy's week is just getting started. All the highlights with the winners tonight. Talk back and insight on White Line Fever weeknights. They are back in a big way. Footy's must-see hour of TV on the couch Monday.
If this was 2 years ago, people would be screaming for Bomber Thompson's head right now.
Full team lists first on Fox League Teams Thursdays.
Not good enough, Larry.
More of the exclusive programs you love this week on Fox Footy Channel.
It happens all the time. Oh, yeah. It gets into your mind. Oh, yeah. A voice keeps telling you. Oh, yeah. Only Hungry Jacks will do. Oh, yeah. I just gotta have it. Oh, yeah. Hey, let me have it. Oh, yeah. Talk to Hungry Jack. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Your wife's called.
She seems nice. Fun meets functionality with the new Motorola Razr V3X.
Hello, Moto.
Well inside the 50, working at the back. It's taken by Burton. Well, here's the marker.
15 cents for 10 days. We print photos from your digital camera at Harvey Norman. And right now, we're offering this unbeatable deal.
15 cent prints for 10 days.
Just bring in your media card, USB drive or CD. It's that easy. Harvey Norman prints your digital photos for just 15 cents for 10 days. Hurry!
Their technological breakthroughs astounded the known world. Their innovations left us with the blueprints for modern-day life. Rome. In a worldwide premiere event, see the remarkable true stories behind the engineering masterpieces that have shaped our world.
Every home of any means had running water. This is astounding, because the entire span of the Middle Ages they didn't have this.
With startling new insights.
There were semi-precious and precious stones embedded in the ceiling that were just put up to catch the light.
Must have seemed like paradise.
The complete history behind the greatest empire the world has ever known.
Rome can go anywhere. There's nothing going to hold Rome back.
Rome, Engineering an Empire. Premieres Monday, May 29, exclusive to the History Channel.
One AFL show soars above the rest with its guest list.
Andrew Demetrio, our special guest, Bomber Thompson.
I want to be more open this year, but I don't want to be that open.
Nathan Eagleton, the ball man, the Reverend Neil Danaher.
You beauty.
Alistair Clarkson, Bombers coach Kevin Shooty.
I can see why people would have thought that, because unless you did it myself. So what, yourself? Hit them.
And its expert panel's fearless critique of the game.
There was nothing short of disgraceful in the first quarter. I think he was pig-headed.
On the Couch, Monday, live and exclusive from 8:30 Eastern on Fox Footy.
Here are the nominations for the Toyota Mark of the Week in Round 7. The Tigers' Kane Pettifer goes for a ride. What about this bit of bravery from West Coast David Wirapunda? And some great agility by a big man. Here's Port Adelaide's Brendan Lane.
That was a terrific grab by Lane, who's on his harbour.
And the Toyota Mark of the Year competition, Kane Pettifer the winner for this week, Round 7. He's in action today, and the Tigers are certainly in action. They lead by 15. It would be a monumental upset if they could overcome the Adelaide Crows, the premiership favourites. The Tigers coming off the back of a shellacking from the Swans.
What the Crows have done, Hunter, they've got Biglands down there in the goal square. Matthew Clark doing the ruck work. First time we've seen the two big Adelaide ruckmen on the ground at the one time.
So Bowden's on big Biglands, isn't he? But the ball's at the other end of the ground. And there's Richo trying to palm it out, trying to help Chris Hyde, who may have been better to try and force a ball up then, because there's just Crows everywhere. But they have not found the touch that we are accustomed to. Richo's hatched that one. Shirley found a path out. But again, they missed targets. Newman up with it. For Patterson, he can switch it here into the middle. Simmons. Pivotal leading for him. Gets him. Myers back in the goal square. He goes shorter than that. Delidio, they're no closer to goal.
Simmons pushed into the forward 50. Clark hot on his heels.
And there's Tuck now. He's a big kick chain, Tuck. He may be worth having a shot from there. He doesn't want to because, look at this.
I'll tell you what, Matthew Clark, where are you? You've got 10, 15 metres off your opponent and you will pay the penalty. And what Richmond are doing is just taking uncontested mark one after the other. Their average for a game is 90. Already, 1 minute into the third quarter, they've had 84.
Matthew Clark a little unlucky there. He went to Kellaway, who led towards the boundary line, and because someone didn't pick Kellaway up, so Matthew Clark taken out of the action there.
Never thought I'd see the day that Robert Laws would scold Matthew Clark.
Incorrectly.
Simmons kicks the goal. Oh, the Tigers. The Tigers.
Well, let's have a look.
21.
I reckon there was enough time there, Chriso, for the Adelaide Crows players to all be on their own direct opponents.
No, well, Kellaway led wide, coming from defence, and Clark went to pick him up, leaving Simmons free. Troy Simmons, what an outstanding game he's played. 10 marks, 17 possessions, 2 goals, back in the centre. Clark up too early. Thompson, handball to Edwards, now to Dowdy. So Crows need something here. Longer more Tarpon. Burton off of the mark. Spectacular he is. And he's marked 55 from goal. Brett Burton kicks into the pocket. Oh, Henschel on a good lead. He's disguised that kick superbly.
He did, Michael. You're so right. Burton looked like he was going to launch into a big one, top of the goal square. All of a sudden, he pulled the kick, and Henschel was found on the lead. Now, this is the man who's a bit shaky on the set shot for goal.
6'8" this year, Ben Henschel. Only 25 metres, but the angle reasonably acute. There's a good look at it.
He doesn't walk in quick enough. He's taking a long time.
Yeah. But as a result there, I think he might have squeezed it through, and the Crows have one. So Trent Henschel kicks his first of the afternoon, and the quick reply coming from the Adelaide Crows.
And it was a good mark by Birdman Burton, and an even better little disguised chip pass to Henschel on the lead. Boy, did they need that.
There's Ben Hart. The Crows will have to be without him for the rest of the afternoon and maybe some weeks to come. Back to 15. They've received a real shock this afternoon, the Crows. Will it be enough to get them going? Cracker wobbles one inside 50. Richo and Jackson in amongst it. Here's Matthew Richardson trying to create by hand. Mattner off the ground backwards. Good Tiger forward pressure though, and they're forced to throw in.
A couple of good efforts there from Daniel Jackson. Just applying pressure to this Adelaide defence.
Clark and Simmons. Tuck. McLeod. Dowdy. Edwards, oh, it won't get to him. Cracker, got the hands free at the crucial stage. Newman spotted Simmons. He just couldn't find him this time.
Gee, Bassett terrific with a fist on that footy.
Mattner scooped it up. McLeod, not a bad bloke to be cruising past. Good chase from Jackson. Couldn't stop the ball getting to Biggles. Henschel again. Makes the lead into the pocket. This time Biggles doesn't honour that lead. just sets it up. That should favour the Tigers, although Burton was in amongst it. Well done from Patterson getting back to help out. And that would please Tiger coach Terry Wallace.
And Marcus Schutter, just the 2 disposals in this game.
Amazing, isn't it? Delidio for high. Bowden Patrick with him. Tambling from behind. Did well, at least competitive, but he's hurt. And the Crows have won the footy. And Goodwin did a nice job in getting it to Henschel on the wing. Now Rashudo makes his move this time. Bigland's the longer target. But again, not very direct movement. There was some jumper there. The umpire spotted it. The extra height and weight are worried for Joel Bowden, but he was caught red-handed. And Rhett Bigland is within range, even though it will be a fair bit of angle to deal with.
Well, going into this game, Rhett Bigland had kicked 9 goals, 1 behind, so you'd have to say he's been kicking very accurately this season.
He's only had 2 kicks this afternoon. Good time to get one online. But he hasn't been able to do it. The Crows cut the margin though to 14.
And Joel Bowden, the 200 gamer, to do the kicking in.
Now he's got Tuck free in the back pocket. Now Tuck's got no one to go to. Adelaide have manned up the dock side of the ground, which is where Tuck is, and that's why, and there's a good look at it, you can see down the left-hand side all Crows players, so he's forced to go back.
You would have thought this would be what Neil Craig would have stressed at half-time. You cannot let them get a free player.
So they do it pretty well, Richmond. They switch play, and Raines is able to get it to Kellaway. Now, Delidio's running hard. He'll accept it from Kellaway. He can play on here. Confronted by Bigland. Didn't have much to go to, so forced just to retreat. Kickback not great. Kellaway took plenty of time, but he had it. Bowden. And back it goes to brother Patrick. Raines, centre half back. Now Newman's free on the Docks wing to left of screen. He's not looking in that direction. He wants to, he's intent on going to the other side, and there's a short option there.
90 seconds they've had control of the ball, Richmond.
Probably can't see across there with the sun.
And again, the Crows cannot man up to prevent this from happening.
Raines. 14 points the margin. Tigers doing it pretty well at the moment. Hyde. 10th mark in this exchange, this passage. Raines slipped over, but Hyde when they switch it again. Joel Bowden. Still backward to the wing.
He'd be happy with the ball in the hands of this man because he just reads the play so very, very well.
Hyde.
2.5 minutes they've had control of the ball. Crows haven't touched it in 2.5 minutes.
Joel Bowden must stink, Wolsey, feeding. No one goes within 50 metres of Joel Bowden.
You're right. His opponent is Biglands, and Biglands is 40 metres away from him at the moment.
Cracker.
And here he goes again. This is modern footy, folks. And if your team's in front, who cares?
Why can't the Crows man up here, Wolsey, and get them one-on-one?
Well, they're trying, but I think they might have finally got it. They might have finally got it.
Well, they're still, oh yeah, just about.
Yeah, an umpire's saying play on. Umpire's saying play on. You only need to have one player drop off, and it was Rutten there who dropped off on Richardson.
So Richardson takes his first mark of the afternoon. Called to play on. Oh, he's going to get around. Rutten does. Brushes him aside with a bounce. Handball was poor, but taken by Tuck. Well stripped of it by Bode. Adelaide regained possession. Flicked out towards Dowdy. Throws a chance here. He can't pick it up there, but he's got support. Edwards. Goodwin sweeps it wide towards Burton. Burton, he's forced to pop now because he hasn't got much on. He's forced to kick across the ground, but Thompson in good position marks. Played on. Off to Shirley. Now Rutten. Back to Shirley. They're at half forward, the Crows. Massey's got it now. Drives it long to the top of the goal square. Richmond have got the number. Tell you what, that's going to be mucking around. He took it last week. Spectacular leap from Kane Pettifer.
Now we can sit back for 2 minutes while Richmond keep possession.
We'll take a break.
Go and have a cup of tea.
Bowden kicks it to Tucker, who's got it at half back. That was a spectacular mark.
This is the 4th mark. We'll just try to keep track of the marks. 4th. And they've got spare players. 5. 6. Amazing, isn't it? 7.
Now it's one-on-one. This is where they should kick it long and trust the ability of their teammates, and that's exactly what's happened.
Jackson's got it. Where to next? By hand. Reigns. Again by hand. Delidio. They're starting to close around. They found a way through. Tivendale. Can they hit a target? Yes, you bet. Shane Tuck takes the mark.
This is a game of chess, isn't it? And they are doing it so well, the Tigers.
Well, just how? Let's have another look at the Pettifer mark for a start.
Gee, what a ripper.
In amongst 80,000 uncontested marks, it's not bad to get one like that, is it? But, Wolsey, it must be harder than it looks to man up one-on-one. It must be.
Well, it is, because you only need to have one player, and they block for each other. You might be on your opponent, and you've got him covered, and all of a sudden, one of the opposition players just steps inside and screens you out of the way.
No, it's a big kick for Shane Tuck, but unfortunately for the Tiger fans, he's missed. And now John Cock brings it back into play, and let's see what sort of tactics the Crows employ.
Well, Richmond have played the huddle, so it's left a couple of Crows free. Rutten gets it to Riley. Centre wing. Chip is okay to Edwards.
Well, they're bringing Matthew Clark off. Bigland's still playing up forward. McGregor coming on.
Dowdy gives it to Riley. Kick into the pocket. Rashudo fist to Reigns and over the boundary line.
Rob, is there anything else they can do, Adelaide, when Richmond employ those tactics?
I don't think there is, Hunter. I don't think there is. They've just got to work hard. They've got to make sure that they cover players behind the ball, because how many times have you seen Richmond kick the ball backwards? That's against Bigland because he caught the boundary throw in and didn't dispose of it properly.
Should Adelaide, when they get the ball, do the same tactics?
Yeah, the problem is Adelaide's behind, Adelaide. They've got to get goals on the board, so they've got to be a bit more attacking. Richmond are happy if nobody else scores for the rest of the game.
Simmons, the kick to Cracker was a good one. Cracker will get the free kick, he will. He's been very good, Andy Cracker, today. Coming in for his 20th disposal. Although in a game like this, disposals don't necessarily
There we go. See, that's the one going backwards.
Reigns, dangerous kick. Pinchel affects the score, but Bowden keeps his feet. Well played. Just ambles away around Burton with nonchalant ease. Oh, his handball's corner. Gee, he did all the hard work, Patrick Bowden. Riley gives it back to McGregor. Now Tyson Edwards lends a hand. Looking for a target. Concedes ground back to John Cock. In space at half-back. He's got nowhere to go. Eventually, Dowdy jars himself free and he marks just backward of the wing.
I've never seen a game of football played like this. Never seen a game of football played like this, and I'm excited by it because it's different and it's proving very effective for the Tigers.
I'm excited, Wolsey. I hope I never see another one like this.
but
I know what you're saying, but you don't want football played like this all the time, surely.
Well, all Terry Wallace wants to do is give his team a chance to win.
Full credit to him. He's doing that, and you admire him for it. But this is not the game that we grew up with.
6 Richmond players there to 1 Crow.
Bowden to Pettifer. Coughlin. Tuck. He just blasted away. That's probably not in the game plan. Well done, Callaway, though. The Tigers not just putting this plan, they are really going hard for the ball. And they're reaping the rewards. Hyde's kick doesn't come back.
That was selfish play from Chris Hyde. He had Greg Tivendale forward of the play all by himself. Just needed a handball. He was under pressure. He knew he was under pressure. Tivendale could have kicked from 30 metres under no pressure.
Why did the umpire not let Bassett kick in with that ball? He made him go and get the other one.
Stevens marks the Bassett kick. Kick out wide is marked by Henschel. Slips the handball to McLeod. Oh, he takes on Bowden and
Play on.
Got the handball away according to the umpire. Kellaway. Kellaway couldn't keep it from going over the line. He was 10 metres in the clear. He was looking around. Should have just picked the ball up.
Well, it's 1 goal each, and we've played 16 minutes of football.
Great knock from Noble. Kellaway this time to Bowden. Short cracker. Been very good, Andy Cracker.
Gee, Hardigan 3. Hasn't seen him.
Elects to go out wide to the lead of Richardson. Then Matthew Marks, right half forward. Difficult day for Matthew Richardson with the ball coming in as it has.
Richmond have taken 120 marks to Adelaide's 71.
Yeah, there's a boundary throw in here.
He called play on and
he was over the line.
He mustn't have come straight back in on the same line.
So, boundary throw in, half forward for the Tigers. Noble again. Dowdy. Trying to get to Edwards. Couldn't. Get in there fighting hard for Richmond. Stevens drags it free. Cracker somehow got boot the ball towards half forward. It's very wide. In fact, down on the full free kick to the Crows at half back.
You know, there's a new stat in footy, and that is backward kicks. And who would ever have thought that we'd be measuring that? Yeah, uncontested marks. Look at that, 112 to 68. Amazing. But backward kicks. Richmond have had 22 backward kicks, and the Crows have had 8.
Goodwin goes to Shirley. Now he's got Rutten. And can go to Stevens if he wants.
And the more backward kicks we get, the closer we get to new rule changes, which we saw in the NAB Cup.
Yep, and the VFL have got that rule this year.
Yeah, which means that you have to play on, automatic play on.
Now, Riley. About 65 from goal. Biglands is down there deep.
Yeah, Patrick Bowden playing on Biglands.
Back he goes for Bassett. There's a long backwards and lateral kick. Now John Cock. Rashudo against 3.
Free kick against him.
Tuck. Tivendale. Patrick Bowden just ahead of him. Boy, he'll just go back to range. Crows have got to man them up right from here, though.
Yes,
don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They're letting them get 2 or 3 away quickly, although that's a misplaced kick. It was okay in the end for Polo, and here's the man Andrew Marr said smells. Joel Bowden. Cross he goes to Polo again.
We haven't had a goal for 15 minutes. And see, Richo has got off Rutten, and Rutten's just not working hard enough to cover him. And
I don't think Richo's the man they should be trying to hit at the moment on the wing. But here he is again. Well done. Gets back. It's testing his little short passing skills quite a bit, but he does well there. Gets to Polo.
Kick backwards
to Bowden. This is quite amazing. A watershed in the way the game's played.
All that matters, Hutto, is that the Tigers are 16 points in front as far as Terry Wallace is concerned. It's another kick backwards.
Range goes across to Bowden, and now to Foley if he wants to.
It's basically become keepings off, hasn't it?
Yeah, Foley could have run there and really attacked the Adelaide defence. Decided to go back, kicks it back to Patrick Bowden. His chip kick is okay. Hyde. So they've got it to the centre of the ground now, Richmond.
Yeah.
What will happen from here? Oh, gee, thought about kicking back 40 metres. Now,
they
forced
will.
the handball back to Pettifer, who kicks it out wide. Patterson presents and he marks.
Yeah. Surely Joel Bowden should be being manned up now, Wolsey. I know he's not on the screen at the moment, but they're leaving a release valve at the back.
Well, Henschel's his opponent, and Henschel is 30 metres off him.
Jackson kicks it to Hardigan. Hardigan chips it forward. Task here for Tambling, but he marks at half forward, opposed to Stevens.
You know, we're at an interesting stage of this game, 20 minutes into the third quarter.
Kicked, and it's a strong mark taken by Richardson.
If the Tigers win, how will Terry Wallace be judged?
Very well, I would have thought.
If the Tigers lose, how will Terry Wallace be judged?
Still pretty well, I think. Don't you think, today?
I would think so, yeah. But
given what the expectations were going in.
Absolutely. Look,
I mean, remember what he did in 2000. It was the super flood against Essendon, and they won that night.
Yes.
And he's employed different tactics tonight. This is keeping off.
Look at the marks. Most of those uncontested. Patrick Bowden up with his brother. Richardson kicks for goal and hits the post.
Well, what a test for this man, acclaimed for his coaching prowess, Neil Craig. What's he going to get his players to do? Richmond lead by 17. John Cock, and they've got it to the wing. And Van Berlo could have been 50. Patterson, careful not to give away the free or the 50 in the end. Massey takes it now. Rashudo is very, very frustrated inside 50. Henschel the target. Dowdy waits down, but the swarm of Tigers, led by Tiger Callaway, gets the ball over the boundary line.
I just reckon the Adelaide Crows have to really run and carry and get the ball in as quick as they possibly can. If they start to stop and prop and try to pinpoint the ball, it'll play into Richmond's hands.
Noble gets it down. Rains. Oh, he shrugs off Rashudo. That is a sign of the confidence they've got at the moment. Tivendale's got some work to do here. Does it, Patterson? And now Rashudo held up. And now Tivendale held up. And it's a ball up.
Mike Rashudo, I keep saying it, he's only had 2 disposals. You'd wonder if they might even take him off. Just give him a 5-minute break.
Coughlin. Hardigan. Waters, take it high note. Comes to Burton, who kicks goalward. Bouncing through. It's a goal to Adelaide. No, it's touched. It's touched.
Richmond players screaming out that it was touched.
Polo marks at half back.
Now Joel Bowden, again 30 metres free. They'll go to him because...
I can't believe this, Wolsey. I cannot believe it.
It's Henschel's responsibility to be on him.
Yeah, here's a go here.
Well, they don't really have to rush the Tigers, as we've established.
You don't say that.
I'm just not sure why they're trying to do it. I mean, it's great they're getting it closer to goal, but there's 45 seconds to go. Maybe that's why. Jackson gets it long. I wonder if they can steal a late goal. Oh, they might be able to for a Noble. Wow. $16 points the difference, and Noble could make it 22 at three-quarter time. That was the touch call on Pettifer.
Yes, definitely touched. And the big fella with the footies, he kicked a goal, Hutto, in his career. I wouldn't think he's kicked many.
He's kicked 12 in his career. It's his first game for the year, Trent Noble. Spent the last 3 weeks in Coburg after coming back, or playing for Coburg, not in Coburg, after being injured in the pre-season. This is a massive kick for the Tigers. Hope for the day. Oh! Hits the woodwork. What drama. The siren has a bit of a cough as well, as if we need another siren scandal. Richmond lead by 17, and Terry Wallace has once again produced some extreme tactics to give his outsider team a chance to be competitive with a favourite.
Well, it's just an amazing game of football. The statistics from this game will be displayed across the country because they are amazing. The number of marks, the number of uncontested marks, the number of times they've held possession. Amazing what Richmond's doing.
In 2006, White Line Fever's all-new lineup delivers the biggest names in the game. Monday, the Ox and Spider return. Tuesday, Rockety joins Tony Shaw. Wednesday, Terry Wallace alongside footy writer Caroline Wilson. Thursday, 3-time premiership coach David Parkin. Friday, Night Fever, Hamill, Bucks and Sheehan. For in-depth analysis and latest football news, White Line Fever. Weeknights, 7:30 Eastern.
Bunnings take a lot of care over who they employ. So I think when people come into the store, they're dealing with people who are genuinely interested in them. They get really good service, good advice.
Moraday screw-on door seal, only $14.95. Bosch lithium cordless driver, $66. Heavy-duty multifold ladder, $149. Compost bin, $39.99. Rich Grow organic rose marble, just $5.95.
So I think that makes them want to come back.
Bunnings Warehouse! Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Things are heating up in the Joneses' house now that they've installed their new Rinnai flame fire. In fact, everyone seems delighted. Oh, Mrs. Jones. Meanwhile, in the TV room with its new Rinnai energy saver heater, Stephanie, their 20-year-old daughter, is entertaining a friend of her own. Anyway, when you purchase selected Rinnai gas appliances, you'll receive up to $150 in supermarket, liquor or petrol vouchers. Rinnai gas appliances, the #1 choice for Australian families.
Love it. Can he pick it up and again get the banana working? Have a look at that boy. Don't tell me.
Hungry Jack's bacon double cheeseburger with something extra. You get double beef, double cheese, plenty of bacon, mayo. How do you top that? With mushroom sauce. Oh, delicious mushroom sauce. Makes your bacon double cheeseburger. Whole new something else. You know what I'm talking about? Go the mushroom sauce.
The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
15 cents for 10 days. We print photos from your digital camera at Harvey Norman. And right now, we're offering this unbeatable deal.
15-cent prints for 10 days.
Just bring in your media card, USB drive or CD. It's that easy. Harvey Norman prints your digital photos for just 15 cents for 10 days. Hurry!
When the safety of our world is threatened.
So whoever attacked us is loaded for war. The new XXX has got to be more dangerous. Deadlier. More attitude.
Where the hell are we going to find that?
A man who was betrayed by the system.
I want to give you a job. Be just like old times.
Will be our only line of defense.
Darius Stone no longer exists. So who the hell am I? You're the new XXX.
The last XXX, he could ski, surf, do all kinds of stuff.
Well, he's dead now. Things are going to be ran different around here. All right, let's roll.
Who the hell is this guy?
Samuel L. Jackson.
I'm not buried yet.
Willem Dafoe.
He's one man, Captain. What can one man do?
And Ice Cube.
Only one way to find out.
Triple X, the next level, commences Sunday, June 11 on Showtime.
Last week on the Gospels, we've got Aussie, oi, 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 and I hate it. If we go over to the World Cup, we'll be laughed at.
Only someone that's un-Australian can bring that up.
What do you mean you hate it? I hate it. What are you doing?
That's The Gospel, Friday on Fox Footy Channel.
It's ironic in a match which has featured so many uncontested marks that we've seen one of the marks of the year. This is an extraordinary game. Richmond have taken 145 marks to Adelaide's 82. They are playing keepings off. The game is not the same. And the Tigers might just use these tactics under Terry Wallace to win against the highly fancied premiership favourite Adelaide Crows. Now, Joel Bowden's been the key man in all this, Rob.
Well, he has. Look, he's highly respected, and they will put it in his hands at every opportunity. He reads the play better than anyone. He just drops back. The Richmond plans are to keep possession, play keepings off. There are 2 or 3 goals in front in a low-scoring game. They're more than happy to play that way. You just wonder if Adelaide can get themselves back into this game. It's just a world record number of uncontested marks that we're heading for.
Let's go to Andrew Marr.
Thanks very much, Hunter. It was all about tempo footy. You're going to love this, Wolsey, in the Richmond camp, just stressing it, particularly Brian Royal, early doors. I'll put to you, Wolsey, you say they're going to run and carry Adelaide. They're down the man. Their last 3 games have been the showdown and then 2 road trips here. Will they have much more run in their legs?
Well, that's a good question, Andy. And what we saw in that third quarter, you'd suggest no. And we just saw a shot there of Andrew Raines playing it full back on Mark Rasciuto. Raines has had 20 disposals, Rasciuto 2.
Underway, final term, the Tigers by 17 points. Simmons kicks towards half forward. Patterson was held, no free kick. Out comes Richardson, takes the ball, keeps the hands free. Handball up, Tivendale wants his left side, kicks from 20 and misses.
Poster again.
Another poster. Gee, what a start that would have been to the final term to kick the Tigers away. Margin and even 3 goals.
Now, will we see a different Adelaide approach in this quarter? Edwards for Thompson. We've seen plenty of this from the kick-ins. They've got to about here, and it's been trouble in terms of their injury from about this position. Massey, was he held without it? No. Bowden, inspiring in his 200th. Newman and now Coughlin. Off his left, so the Tigers going a little quick and direct. Meyer over the top. Applied the good tackle, even though John Cox got away. Richmond still putting pressure on. Sweeping handball in the hands of Edwards, and now John Cox. And the Crows trying to carry it down by hand. I think we might see a fair bit of that in this quarter. Thompson centering it. Dowdy, well done by Patterson, made the good decision to come and chase. And you can see the aggression of the Tigers. Now the handball comes out from Bassett to McLeod. Had to put the foot down. LaRue, can he take this? No, he can't. It's a free kick.
He got held. Andrew Raines held him on the arm. Good kick by McLeod to put it to the advantage side. So every strong body out in front, and a little bit of panic there by young Raines, who's just played a ripper of a game. You can see the grabbing of the shoulder and the arm, and the umpire's got it right.
So Mark Rasciuto, as I mentioned earlier, kicked 20 goals, 12 going into today. Crowd giving plenty. Richmond lead by 18. And a bit of pressure on the captain here. Good look at it. It wasn't good contact. It's been that sort of day for the Adelaide Crows. Tiger fans came here this afternoon, most of them not expecting a lot, I wouldn't have thought, after what they witnessed last week. But they've got a fantastic performance and an incredibly innovative effort under Terry Wallace.
Pettifer marks the Bowden kick in, and short to Joel's brother, Patrick. They've dominated the marks. In fact, they're the two leading possession winners for the Tigers, the brothers, Bowden. Kick towards Patterson. Pressure coming from Biglands. Ball stays in. Dowdy, good aggressive stuff there from Hardigan. Handball was perfect. Away to Foley. Now Polo. Polo kicks towards half forward. Almost Meyer. Couldn't control it. Diving on the footy. Down there is Kellaway. Umpire calls play on, then eventually penalised the Richmond player. It was Kellaway at the base of the pack. So a free kick to Stevens, who chips it out wide.
They just need McLeod looms as the danger man, starting to get his hands on it and pushing forward. This is what he's got to do: run and carry, bounce.
Well, he's had a couple.
Run the line.
Three, gets good protection from Thompson. Long inside attacking 50. Bowden across the front. Takes the mark. Yeah, we'll stop another Adelaide attack.
Bowden to Bowden. They seem to be sweeping the ball forward a bit quicker. Maybe that's a reflection, Rob, on Adelaide manning up better in this last quarter. So far, they haven't had the ability to really hang on to the ball as they did earlier.
I reckon it's behind the player with the ball that Adelaide have to be really tight. And again, they just fall down in that area there. Now, that is mark number 151, 152. The world record is 170. And I think they'll create a record today, Richmond. The most number of marks ever taken in a game of AFL football.
Who set that?
It was set by Fremantle over Hawthorn.
Ooh, that one only just got through to Patrick Bowden. He can go across to Raines quickly. No, he goes for Newman. It's a more delicate effort. So the Crows still trying to close in on the Tigers here. They just can't stop it at the moment. Coughlin takes it now. Can they go shoulder to shoulder? He's still got a man behind him who was loose. He didn't go for him. He went for Richo instead.
How many times has Rutten trailed Richo?
Yeah.
All-Australian fullback. He's lowering his colours at the moment. Richo not kicking a lot of goals, but being effective by pushing up.
There's 9 marks in a row. He still had Bowden behind him. McGregor making an effort to stay on him. I reckon he could still turn around and kick it back to Bowden. He doesn't, because you can see why.
Timmendale's played all game on Goodwin and done a pretty good job. Now, gee, that's McLeod's opponent.
Polo. He's got a man away to his... Oh, it wasn't a great goal. I apologise. Hardigan got there to take it. Didn't look like a great kick initially. And that's a great kick. Coughlin loose. And what a massive kick this is for the Tigers and for Mark Coughlin.
Well, they just continue to outsmart, you'd have to say, the Adelaide Crows, because there's no doubt everyone knows what the tactics are. We've seen it for over 3 quarters now.
So Coughlin, who hasn't kicked a goal for the season coming in, hasn't had a shot today. But you wouldn't know, it's cool and calm, and they're right in it. Oh, they are right in it with a real chance of victory now. They lead by 23. And this is quite incredible.
Richmond have got an extra man in defence at the moment. That is Kane Pettifer. And Adelaide Crows can't allow that to happen.
So the Tigers by 23. Bigland's up early. Wins it down to Shirley. Edwards gives it over to Goodwin, who hoists it high towards half forward. Pettifer going back with Coach McGregor from the back. That's a terrific mark by Ken McGregor. He's marked 47 from goal. And a chance here for a quick reply. Pettifer going back was brave, but McGregor had eyes for the footy. It was a good, strong mark.
There's been plenty of leads given to Ken McGregor, but I think he's confident that he can make the distance.
He'll need to kick it from just outside 50. It will require a very good kick from Ken McGregor. The Crows need one desperately. He keeps it low. Has it got the carry? No. Bigland's up high, but it's forced through by the Richmond defence.
Adelaide's lowest score ever was in 1995. They kicked 9 goals to 4 that day. And they've got 4 goals 10. And they obviously going to have to beat that if they are to win this game.
Is it 50? Late hit? Yes.
Against Coughlin.
Gee, they're the sort of mistakes that in a low-scoring game, Rob.
Yeah. It was the kick that the Andy Callaway kick just wasn't good enough. Coughlin arriving a bit late. He was the target for the kick, but the kick fell short.
And I'll just correct that stat. That is Adelaide's lowest score ever against Richmond. At 9 goals 4. But right now they're looking to get a very, very important goal. Matner just has to kick the goal. Just must. Made the goal umpire work. And he's missed.
Just makes you think it may be the Tigers' day. Well, it does, Michael, doesn't it?
It does.
The opportunities that you have to get to give yourself a chance.
You would think there's going to be one chance, wouldn't you, for the Crows? I mean, you'd think there'd be a moment when they'll come. You'd expect there to be one. But who knows?
Pettifer, well, the thing about it, can Richmond keep these execution skills up to the level they have? And they've been pretty precise with their kicking, and they've been able to play this short kicking game, but 1 or 2 kicks off target, and they'll let the Crows back in. Deledio kicks across the face. Prosciutto, here's a chance. McLean will run into a goal.
Well,
I hadn't even got the words out, Rob.
Well, it had to happen, I guess. And, you know, they've been kicking backwards that often. The ball hung in the air too long. Prosciutto was very good to spoil and not give away a free kick because he was running back with the fly. Now, Terry Wallace may well be saying to his runner, get out and tell the boys to persist with what we've been doing. Don't let that stop you.
Halfway through this last quarter, the Tigers slip up. Will there be a moment of doubt for them? 15 points is the margin. The adrenaline will start to pump as they get closer to the finish line. This could be a holding the ball call. It is. Against Polo, against Coughlin. Biglands. Bowden's been great, but it clears him. Burton. Henschel. All of a sudden, the Crows are coming. Although, this is no certainty.
Well, it is no certainty. A couple of the Richmond players are saying that kick was touched, and that's the free kick against Coghlan. Possession of the ball. And a few of the Richmond boys thought that umpire's not having any of it.
So Henschel, 1 goal 3 is his afternoon's work. Surely he couldn't miss. He hasn't this time. And now it's back to 9.
The thing is, Hello, if Adelaide hit the front, what game plan do the Tigers play with? Surely they can't continue to play that possession game when they've got a score to get in front.
Remember back to that game in 2000 where Terry Wallace did the super flood? Well, that night, kicked the winning goal to put them in front.
Well, we just saw Richo. Richo is lining up at centre-half back for the Tigers. Rutten has gone with him.
Kicked out of the centre by Foley, and it's a mark taken by Patterson. Adam Patterson was very good in the first quarter and has done some good things today. The quick kick out by Foley. And Patterson, critical kick, 35 from goal, directly in front. The Tigers need this, bit of breathing space. Drop punt is a goal. Tigers by 15. So Richmond gets it very quickly. And Rob, in the game today, the easiest way to score is by getting the ball out of the centre very quickly, and both sides have done that in the last couple of minutes.
Yes, well, just a quick clearance. It forces a one-on-one contest. Patterson too good for his opponent, Stevens, in that one, and able to finish off. And important that they get a quick answer to the couple of Crows goals. Richo's a little bit confused because his opponent, Rutten, has gone to full forward, and Richo doesn't know whether to go a bit further back in defence and cover him or not. As it turns out, Richo's the spare man in defence for the Tigers at the moment.
Edwards. The Tigers responding magnificently here. Tuck, Coghlan, Simmons, who's led the way. Jackson going to get back, created a contest. McLeod. Careful. And now, he's got Stevens, and they've got Mattner running on the wing. Johncock, time to recover from the mistake. Mattner.
Gee, Richmond pushing numbers back.
Goes for Edwards. Oh, he just got there. Now, Rashudo's going to be back in the goal square. Edwards goes and gives it everything he's got. Simmons. Oh, the gloves up, and also Richo back.
Well, that was his job. The big bombs. Richo's got to fly for them. Well done, Matthew.
To Pettifer.
Well, Richo's their leading goal kicker. Pettifer is next on the goal kicking list, and here they are playing in the defensive 50.
Delidio takes it. And decides to move it quickly. A little bit of a strange decision, because he had some short options on.
Gee, we haven't had many boundary throws, have we? Because they've just been chipping the ball around.
So boundary thrown on the wing. Biglands decisively down to Edwards. Mattner running inside. Off to Johncock. Here's a chance for the Crows. Johncock kicks towards full forward. Rutten going back in good position here. Almost got hands to it. Couldn't take the mark. Bowden off hands. Joel kicks around the boundary line. Tuck is made position. Had to stretch. Couldn't hold on. Lets Massey in. He was dispossessed by Tuck. Foley, look out. Handball is okay.
Free kick against him.
Penalised.
He just held the arm.
He thought he got the handball out. Be careful. Give away 50 there, Tigers. Mattner kicks it to Stevens. Now he's been called to play on. I think there was Bassett, so Bassett gets it back. Back to Stevens. Edwards inside. Chips it towards half forward. Out comes McGregor. Off towards McLeod. McLeod, what can he conjure up here? Handball off to Shirley. Around Tuck. From 45, he kicked it out on the full. Free kick to the Tigers.
When does that moment come, Rob, where Richmond are really staring victory in the face and where they might start potentially to tighten?
Well, there's 8.5 minutes to go. I reckon if they can maintain the scores as they are for another 2 or 3, they will just put a massive, all the players in the back half and just play, keep things off. We're seeing it just about happen now. Edwards is looking dangerous.
Oh, and there's Crows everywhere here. Burton just needs to kick through beautifully, and they will not die, the Crows.
Well, we spoke about how good their execution's been, but the Matthew Richardson kick there, putting Deledio under all sorts of pressure, 3-on-1. And the Crows came from everywhere, and Burton was able to finish with real poise. So the margin back to 9 points.
Tyson Edwards, Andrew McLeod been very good in this last quarter for the Adelaide Crows. Richmond are 1 mark off equaling 170 marks, which is a record that Fremantle set early this year. So they are going to create a record for marks taken in a game of footy.
Coughlin forces it free. Deledio has got pace. Can he use the footy? Long to the goal square. Can he kick one from 60? He can! Oh, superb stuff from Brett Deledio. Unbelievable stuff out of the centre. It was hard and tough for the Tigers. And a touch of brilliance from the second-year player, the #1 draft pick of 2004, Brett Deledio.
Good hands too there from Coughlin. His #1 young gun, Brett Deledio, has delivered for Terry Wallace. The margin back to 15. Clark, brilliant start. Slide a hand through the middle. Riley looking for an exit. Find one. Good one inside 50, and McGregor. Suddenly the game opening up.
Wolsey, it's fascinating to see what Adelaide have done. They've thrown all their players down to match up the loose men in Richmond's back line. And you've got about, you've got about 3 or 4 couples up in the Richmond end of the ground and an extremely crowded Adelaide front half.
Yes, I think they have to do that. If Richmond get the extra numbers back, you've seen what Richmond will do when they can just spot up loose players. So the Crows have to go 1-on-1.
McGregor, 7 minutes remaining. Not a great kick. And it's through for a behind. The margin now is 14. Joel Bowden. Crows zoning. So Bowden just had to squeeze it through. And he was able to. Coughlin.
Mark 170. Next mark, world record.
Tuck can go long for Callaway. The world record mark taken on the wing by Callaway. It's also a Commonwealth record. Over the top for Pettifer. Noble's down there as well. And Meyer in the pocket. Oh, he had a mountain to climb there. He couldn't. He kept on coming. So did the Crows. Still might be a goal.
Free kick. Adelaide free kick.
Great chase down by McLeod. Let's have another look at it. Might burst through the messy tackle, but didn't count on Andrew McLeod coming and affecting it. Now a chance for Hardigan. Was he over the line? No, said the umpire. It is now. Boundary throwing deep in Richmond's forward pocket. There's the short kicks for the match. Look at that. Look at that. 152 to 80. So the Tigers in the goal-scoring part of the ground here. Noble gets it down. Chance for Foley. He's wrapped up. Taken to the ground. Will get a bounce 20 metres from the Richmond goal. Under 6 minutes left. margin.
Just look at Joel
points.
Bowden. Joel Bowden in the back line for the Tigers, just giving instructions to his teammates where to position.
Noble, taken by Riley. Hurries the kick from the congestion. Matner versus Coughlin. Lending a hand, Pettifer. Did it well, knocks to Coughlin. Back to Pettifer. Confronted by Burton. Good tackle coming from Burton. Downey off the ground. Suffers it forward. And over. So a boundary throw between wing and half forward for the Tigers.
Have a look at the Richmond fans. They are loving it.
Have you seen Kane Pettifer play a better game, Wolsey?
No, best game I've seen him play, Andy. No doubt about that.
Tigers are inspired at the moment. Can they hang on? Noble, that looked like a holding the man decision. Foley climbs to his feet and takes it.
Big Trent Noble pushing forward. He's the long option if they decide to kick long. We haven't seen much of that today.
Well, he's one-on-one with Matthew Clark. Let's see how he goes. Clark to try and spoil. Does that successfully. And that's the domain of McLeod and co. Goodwin. And now John Cock through the middle. McGregor pushing up the ground to present. This is Riley. He's got Henschel to his left.
Well, he turned around because all he could see was yellow and black.
Goodwin, can he hit Rashudo? Oh, yes, he can. And he's a big kick. Will he wind the arc here? He can see a vacant square. He can see goals. He can see there's still a chance of victory. The Adelaide Crows will not be denied. They trail now by 8. And the squeeze is on at the Telstra Dome.
He worked his way through that so very well, Mark Rashudo. He was looking to short and then realised the goal square was pretty much vacant, and he just thought, I'll wheel around and let rip with my best drop punt. It was good enough. That is a picture of the Adelaide Crows forward line.
Gee, look at those quarters. They are the shortest quarters you've ever seen, just about. 27 minutes, 26 and 23.
Noble decisively. Deledio can't get clear. Oh, almost threw it out. Dowdy. Here come the Crows. Sweeping handball out wide to Burton. Look out. Great tackle, Patterson. He's been rewarded.
Yeah, well done.
Haven't they been sensational? Some of their young players will.
Fantastic. In a way, it would be cruel if they lost this game, Richmond. They have worked so hard.
Tuck.
The thought into the game by the coaching staff obviously has been gobbled up by the players. They've embraced it.
Tuck now. No one really stands and commits to the mark, so he plays on with a bounce, kick towards. Forward, he's in the table as Polo Burton getting back.
Well, they can't afford to sit on the footy either, the Adelaide Crows, because it's less than 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, we're inside the five minutes of actual game time.
Gee.
Right from Goodwin to a 2-1 against the Adelaide Crows, and Patrick Bowden takes it very easy now.
Well, this is where they just need to employ the tactics they've done so well, isn't it?
That's right. Adelaide have closed it up pretty well. The kick just sat up and gave McGregor a chance on Kellaway. Riley dives on the ball, needs to get it out, he'll be penalised. He dragged it under. Free kick to Richmond. Now, just to give you an idea, the 5-minute warning came at 21:52 on the count-up clock. So we're now 24:15 in, and there's the free kick against Riley to be taken by Newman.
Has been more goals in this quarter, Chris, than the previous couple at least.
So the kick towards the punt, and into mark, the Richmond mark. Brett Deledio, could he be the hero? A wonderful 65-metre goal a few minutes ago, and from just 25 metres on a 45-degree angle, a chance, you would think, Rob, to seal the game for the Tigers.
Yeah, Tyson Edwards thought that Burton would continue his run and contest that. Burton stopped, made Edwards look a bit silly, and Edwards just looked at his teammate and said, what are you doing to me?
Deledio. Misses to the left. Crows trail by 9 points. Still plenty of time for the Crows.
They need 2 goals. Doughty. Penetrating kick for Stevens.
Better get it to John Cock if he can.
Looking for his runners. Instead goes longer with the kick. Joel Bowden has been magnificent. Johncock shrugs off Meyer. Here comes Foley. Cop that, he says. Deliberate out of bounds. Oh, the tenacious tough Tigers.
What a tackle. Have a look at the tackle. He's almost thrown him into Burke Street.
A high up and under. Not a good kick at all. Clark marks. Gives it to the money man, McLeod. Now Bassett, they've got to do something, Crows. They need to score. Downey. Rutten, the fullback. The Birdman. Brett Burton, he's got through. Off the left. And Richardson watch helplessly as it sails through for a goal. It's anybody's game now. 3 points the difference. Brett Burton stands up.
Strong play by Rutten in the tackle. Didn't cough it up when initially caught. Just anchored those big legs and spun around. Got the handball off to Brett Burton, who was able to push back onto his left foot and kick a wobbly punt through. And football can be cruel.
Well, back in the centre, Noble. Chance for the Crows. Edwards' little fumble. Don't see that too often. Spills out to Newman. Long and high towards half forward. Meyer versus Johncock. Meyer almost. Chance at ground level. Hyde tries to knock it towards Patterson. Cottler's got it now. They've got some numbers there, the Tigers. Stevens, off hands. Edwards kicks it forward. Cracker. Strong stuff from Cracker. Stood underneath. Took the pressure. And has marked 55 from goal.
They'll go backwards. They'll keep possession. Good play. Newman.
He's got Richo behind him. Will he go to him?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Richo needs to be careful with this disposal.
Yeah.
He's coughed up one. Newman. They've conceded 75 metres, Richmond, but it can't be too long to go. Can they hold on? What an historic victory this would be. Newman kicks and finds Kellaway. Back to Newman. They're praying, they're hoping for the siren. Richmond fans on the edge of their seats, so is their coach. Newman, dangerous kick, stops it up. Chance here for the Crows. McGregor, great tackle, that's it. Richmond, sensational victory here against the odds. A major upset against the Premiership's favourite, and there you're elated.
Season. It's been a bit of a day of doom and gloom for the Crows. They'll hit back, but it's all about Terry Wallace and his Tigers.
And Terry Wallace on the ground, Hutto. He is just full of absolute elation for his young team. They have done him proud, and I reckon he's masterminded a fantastic victory for his team.
10-9-69 to 9-12-66. They took 181 marks. A world record figure. Changing the game again. Maybe the rules will be changed as a result of this. Let's go to Andy Marr.
Thanks very much, Hutto. What a game, mate. The most extraordinary game of footy a lot of people upstairs have seen.
Yeah, very interesting. We played, I guess, a different brand of footy today, not our normal run and carry, free flow. I thought the guys did really well. We had a shocker last week, but we learned from it, and we've come out and I think the boys really played well.
You've obviously executed the pre-game planning absolutely perfectly. You've hung on, you've won a game that nobody thought you could possibly win. What was the ethos of what Terry sent you out with today?
Well, the weekend before was just terrible, and we had to learn from that experience, and we had to come out and show that we're a professional group who could learn from a demoralising loss. So I think we did that today, and I'm just very proud of everyone, the way they embraced it, and I'm sure Terry will be as well.
Obviously, the plan was to keep the footy away from the Adelaide Crows for as long as you could.
Not initially, but it turned out that way. They got some very good players, half-backs who run and carry. Their forwards are dangerous, so we kept it off them a little bit, and we were able to score. It's only a low-scoring game, but I'll take the points.
The team's taken more marks than any team's taken in the history of footy today. You took 19 uncontested marks yourself.
Yeah, no contested ones, but that's the way it goes.
There were plenty of contests to be won, and that was one of the things that Wolsey talked about early in the game, the fact that around the contest, you guys were holding your own, if not exceeding what Adelaide was throwing at you.
Yeah, and that's what we were bad at last week. We got smashed around the contest. This time, the same midfield blokes were given the challenge. They went in there, they executed it, and basically we had a dip, and it's paid off.
Fantastic stuff, winning a 200 game on a game like this where nobody thought you could do it. You'll remember this one for a long time.
Oh, I will. So I'm very happy.
Good on you, Joel. Thanks, mate. Back to you, Hutto.
Thank you, Andy, and well done to Joel Bowden. He wouldn't have played in too many games at his 200 like that one, Rob.
No, and look, we see Terry Wallace out on the field, and there's not too many times when a coach can really feel good about what's happened, good about his planning, because sometimes you plan well, it doesn't quite come off. Sometimes you plan well and your team still loses. But to go against the odds, and I think the further the game went, the more Terry realised, well, if we can just stop Adelaide from getting their hands on the ball, we've been able to sneak away to a 2 or 3 goal lead. Let's try to maintain that. But also, when they did push forward, there were some good marks taken and some gutsy efforts too. Kate Pettifer, I've never seen play as well as that. Richo was terrific when he went into the back line. Simmons played the best game in the ruck that I've ever seen him perform. And Joel Bowden, of course, he masterminded everything across that defensive line. Joel Bowden with 34 disposals, his brother Patrick with 28. Gee. And their father Michael coming down to see the boys. Their father Michael, premiership player with Richmond, coming down from Alice Springs to see his 2 sons play. What a fantastic result for him.
And there it is, the Tigers triumphant at the Dome, 10-9-69 to 9-12-66.